Well, I suppose it had to happen sometime, and the amazing thing to me is that it didn't happen sooner. I'm referring to the use of the tap dance as a purely musical sound. In other words, why shouldn't we have something like a concerto for tap dancer and orchestra, with a tap dancer as soloist? And now we have exactly that. The American composer Morton Gould was perceptive enough to take advantage of the possibilities of using the sound of the dancer as a solo instrument. And here's a portion of what resulted, his Tap Dance Concerto. So you see, the sound of the dance has been utilized for purely musical purposes. Of course, we can't expect melody from this solo instrument, but its rhythms are so characteristic that they more than make up for the lack of melody. There's even a cadenza for the soloist in the first movement. And incidentally, I get a visual image as I hear the sounds of the dancer's feet. It seems to me that I can almost see the motions of his feet as the sounds strike my ears. You might see if you react the same way. Why not lift the needle and put it back a few grooves so that you might hear the music again? The soloist in this concerto is Danny Daniels, and the orchestra is the Rochester Pops, conducted by the composer Morton Gould. On the other side of this 10-inch LP disc, the same orchestra and conductor have recorded a suite of pieces composed by Mr. Gould and called Family Album. One of the movements is especially amusing. It's called the Horseless Carriage Gallop, and it contains an orchestral imitation of an old Model T being cranked up and finally getting rolling after a slow start. Here's that portion of the music. This example of a little musical fun from Morton Gould's Family Album brings us to the end of another preview of the latest Columbia releases. If you've enjoyed hearing these excerpts from this month's Columbia LP discs, then may I suggest that you ask your local record dealer to let you hear other preview records in this series. And now, this is your host, David Randolph, saying goodbye.